So when I was 10 years old, I lived down the street from my aunt. And it was a small neighborhood. We were all pretty close. But I never really understood why she never went out. She was very secluded, always in her house. I never understood why family avoided her when we all gathered together, why my uncle used to hold his kid back from hugging her. I never really understood these things. And I would think, she's mean or something, like she must have done something to upset them, because I'm 10, like these are the kinds of things that are going through my head. As a child, it wouldn't have even crossed my mind that it would have been because she was sick. In a 10-year-old's mind, sick people should be protected, not shamed.
HIV is a virus that attacks cells of one's immune system, leading to a severe loss of immunity. This greatly lowers one's resistance to infection and ability to fight off any invader. AIDS is the last stage of HIV infection. There are a plethora of symptoms. However, the majority of people get AIDS through either sexual relations or needle usage. It can also be transmitted through specific bodily fluids, such as blood, semen or preseminal fluid, rectal fluids, vaginal fluids, or breast milk. Therefore, a mother can give it to their child during pregnancy, birth, or breastfeeding. These bodily fluids must come into contact with damaged tissue or a mucous membrane. In other words, one's rectum, vagina, penis, and/or mouth.
AIDS. It can easily be avoided if you follow these simple steps. According to AIDSinfo.gov, HIV and AIDS can be prevented by using a condom, performing less risky sex, getting tested regularly, limiting the amount of sexual partners you have, knowing your partner's HIV status, and most importantly, being abstinent. By following these simple steps, you greatly diminish the risk of obtaining a deadly disease like HIV and AIDS.
According to AIDS.gov, more than 70 million people have been infected with the HIV virus, and about 35 million people have died from HIV and AIDS-related illnesses since the start of the epidemic. Today, almost 5% of the world's population is currently living with the virus, and almost 40,000 people in the United States have been diagnosed with it. Shockingly, 1 in 7 people are living with HIV and AIDS and have no idea that they are even infected. This factor heavily contributes to how widespread the disease is and continues to be. This is why it is so important to make sure that we are all educated and informed individuals, not only to help prevent its spread, but also so that we ourselves don't encourage or facilitate the spread of misconceptions and stereotypes.
Ever since the start of the HIV/AIDS epidemic back in the 70s, misconceptions, myths, and rumors have flown around and have costed thousands of individuals their lives, according to WebMD. A very common misconception is that only gay men can contract this disease. This is completely false because anyone, regardless of age, gender, race, or sexual orientation, can contract HIV. Another common misconception is that HIV can be spread through hugging, kissing, shaking hands, sharing eating utensils, or drinking from the same drink. This is unequivocally false, as HIV can only be spread through blood, semen, vaginal fluid, or breast milk. While this information can ease your fears of contracting HIV, you should always be tested regularly as a practice of safe sex.
There's many locations when one could seek for help. According to AIDS.gov, your healthcare provider can provide you with an HIV test. You could also go to clinics, community health centers, AIDS services organizations, and much more. If in need of a testing site in your area, one could always call 800-CDC-INFO or 800-232-4636, and you will be provided with nearby testing centers. Another good place to locate testing centers is locator.aids.gov. In this site, a person puts their zip code and you can show testing centers for up to 50 miles of that zip code. One of the local departments here in Davie, Florida is the Florida Department of Health in Broward County, where free HIV testing is provided with working hours from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. in accordance to gettested.cdc.gov. Now, with all the cases of HIV and the consequences of bearing such disease, go get tested. I brought some leak once every 2 months, and make sure to stay STD free.